You're listening to the Morning Punchin' Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Good morning, everybody. It is RB and Jae. This is the Morning Punchin' Show, the most unpredictable, honest, and authentic morning boxing talk show in the game. Today is Monday, November 14th, 2016. Our special guest today on the Hotline Bling will be Heather Hardy. She's on the verge of maybe signing her first MMA fight contract, and there's a lot of reasons behind this, so want to talk to her today and get some of that information from her. Let me properly introduce my partner in crime, the creator and founder of BadCulture.net and contributor to Black Sports Online, Jay. What's good, Jay?
Good morning, RB, and good morning, listeners. It's another beautiful day in Southern California. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are. Super excited to get with my girl RB here and head to Vegas this week for Kovalev versus Ward. Been looking forward to this for a long time. Talking to you guys, playing some Know It or Blow It, and just kicking off the work week right. What's going on with you, RB?
That's right. Well, excited for Vegas. For those of you that haven't been following us on Twitter this past weekend, we did formally put it out there that me and Jay will be on Radio Row live from Las Vegas. So we're going to give you all the latest updates every day. We will be broadcasting at least once a day, if not twice a day. So make sure you stay tuned. We will be talking to everyone, whether they're in the industry, a fighter, fans. We got a lot of giveaways that we're going to give away. So we're really, really excited for Vegas. We are also hosting the official tweet up after the fight.
Yes.
So if you are in Las Vegas and you are at the T-Mobile Arena and you are going to be attending Kovalev Ward, you are going to want to be at the Hyde Lounge immediately after the fight. We will continue to chop it up and talk about the fights and have some good drinks and listen to some good music. So we are so excited. It's going to be
turn
a great
down
week
for
in
what?
Vegas.
Is it going to be a turn down for what weekend for us again? Turn down for what?
Oh, I think so. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, hey, Jay, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you've been doing lately.
Sure.
Because everybody knows what you do with boxing, but you're so much more than boxing. You've been doing a lot of sports, news, and entertainment. And this past weekend, I saw you with Serena Williams and her sister and Sanaya Latham. And what you got good over there? What you got going?
It's been a busy winter, end of summer. Over the weekend, Venus and Serena Williams went over back to their hometown of Compton, and they rededicated a tennis court, the tennis court that their career started on. They had their sponsor, Gatorade, completely refurbish it. They're going to make elite-level coaches available to the youth of Compton to kind of cultivate the next champion. It's called the Venus and Serena Court of Champions, and that's really dope for the city of Compton. And in addition to that, there's a community center over there for those of you who don't know, their older sister was killed in a drive-by shooting back in 2006.
Oh.
So they haven't been in Compton too much since then just because of so many bad memories associated with the city. But they're looking to rehabilitate the image of the city along with Kendrick Lamar and YG and The Game, and all these people are from Compton, and they've created the Yetunde Price Center. And what it is a resource center for mothers and families who have lost family members to gun violence in Compton. So they inaugurated that center, which will open next month, and the Court of Champions is open now. So if you're in the Compton area and you got a young one that plays tennis, take them over there. There's some good resources available to them.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. You've been so busy, and we've been keeping up with you, and you've been on red carpet, just doing the most. So, all right, listen, guys, the lines are open, 718-508-9852. Press 1 to speak your piece if you want to play Know It or Blow It. Let's punch in. Let's start off by recapping this weekend's past fights. And let's see, where shall we start? Let's start with Luis Ortiz and Malik Scott. So Luis Ortiz dropped Malik Scott 3 times. He wins a snoozing decision. Jay, can you recap this fight for us?
This fight was so bad that Malik Scott got online after the fight himself and said, yeah, I know that fight was shit. It was horrible. I forgot. He said something like, yes, I know that the fight was bad. I welcome all criticism. When you have to get online and you talk bad about your own fight, that's a bad day in boxing. You know, these fighters get real sensitive when you have any kind of criticism for their performance, but he said, yeah, you know what? It was crap. So at this point, what do you do with someone like Malik Scott? He spent three knockdowns during the fight. He ran around the ring. Luis Ortiz couldn't trap him. He had ring rust. So you got a runner and a guy with ring rust. And Luis Ortiz still won easily. He still won easily. Billy, y'all claiming him? Are y'all claiming Malik Scott?
No, we haven't for a long, long time. HBO bit the bullet, and they paid to air this fight. And from what I saw online, I was in an airplane, it was awful. It was a snooze fest. I mean, Malik Scott probably will not get another big fight ever again. I mean, I could probably see him maybe fighting an up-and-coming prospect, maybe like a Heyman guy who's up-and-coming or something. But other than that, I don't see him getting any other opportunities.
Horrible.
But the fight that should have been aired on HBO was the Jason Sosa fight versus Steven Smith. It ended up turning into a little gritty war. Jason Sosa from Camden/Philly retained his WBA belt. Big things now coming up for him. He was supposed to fight Gervonta Davis in October, and for whatever reasons that fight didn't happen, and so he ends up going over to France and taking a fight with Steven Smith in hostile territory, and he seized the moment again. He is a road warrior. You guys remember he beat Javier Fortuna in Beijing, China, and now he goes to France, and he's just a little road warrior on the road. And hopefully we could talk to him next week. But great fight there. Did you catch that one, Jay?
I haven't had the opportunity to see his fight, but I will say this. This kid is like the little engine that's good. No matter what, he goes out there, he handles his business, and he does enough to win. And there are people out there, fighters, that are saying that nobody knows who he is. He has no fan base. Well, you know what? He's got a belt. He's a champion, a repeated champion. And he's fighting more than some people, and he's not fighting in his backyard, and he's not fighting in the comfort of his own gym. He's not he's a guy that's going out there, and he's making it happen. And if you don't have anything positive to say, I'm looking at you side-eye. People talking in social media too much. Too salty. Why are you salty? You could have had that fight, but hey, you got too emotional on Twitter.
And then he went and deleted all his tweets too. It was really funny. Look, we like Tank. You know, we've had Tank on before, but he did come off a little salty. You know, the kid don't got no fan base. He went over there and fought a bomb. Well, Jeandra, you ain't fought since I don't know when. You don't have a fight lined up. You have no belt, and you haven't fought in your backyard. So don't throw stones from glass houses. Is that how it goes?
Oh, yeah, don't be salty. We got love for you, too, but, I mean, just give the man his props. That's all. Yeah. You don't have to love him. You don't have to play grab ass. Just say, good fight, dude. I respect any man who puts the gloves on. And keep it moving.
Right. So some names that have been thrown around for Jason Sosa next have been Francisco Vargas, Orlando Salido, Mura. It's a stacked division. Lomachenko's in there. So he's going to get a big fight next. I was told last night that he has a pretty bad swollen eye and that he probably won't be ready until maybe February, March. So anything before that is probably out the question. So let's go right into Philly. There was a fight card. Danny Garcia battered Danny Vargas for the TKO win on Spike. It was a dominant performance by Garcia, and it now set up the championship unification showdown between him and Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman was clean. He wasn't wearing no dashiki. He wasn't wearing no skinny jeans. He didn't have the hair flowing with like he needed some gel in the front. He was clean. It was one time at his best time, Danny Garcia made mince meat out of Samuel Vargas. We knew that Danny was going to win the fight, but sometimes we've seen Danny kind of mentally check out in these fights that we know he's supposed to dominate. But he won the fight the way he's supposed to win the fight, which I can appreciate. If you put an quote-unquote opponent in there with him, he's supposed to kill him. And he did it. I felt sorry for Vargas. I've been watching boxing for many years, and not too much makes me squeamish, but he just beat him down like he was going to be the next day barbecue steak. He was tenderizing that ass during that fight.
I did watch the highlights. Again, I was on the plane, and the highlights were sad. It wasn't as bad as Rob Salka, but it was where you just saw the kid was in straight survival mode. He knew he was getting beat up. You know, Billy Briscoe called into our show last week, and, you know, even that interview was a little awkward. You just knew what was going to happen, you know, and every once in a while you have that great story, that Rocky moment, but it was not happening against Danny Garcia. So Keith Thurman was in attendance as part of Spike's broadcasting crew that night, and the two guys, Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, met in the middle of the ring after the fight, and they began just trading words and exchanges. It was a little WWE style day, but it was fun, right? It was fun.
It was. I love it. We got to sell these fights. You know, PBC's model has been so controlled and no ring girls and no announcer. It was nice to see a little bit of hype, even if it is kind of contrived, but it was cool. It was cool to see Danny not look to Angel first for approval before he start yapping and just say, I leave it up to my team like he usually does. One time, Thurman, we know he got a mouthpiece on him, so I liked it. I thought it was cute. It was cute.
Guys, remember to call in to play Know It or Blow It with us. Please, you have to press 1, 718-508-9852. We want to play some Know It or Blow It and give some things away today. Anyway, back to that Spike card. So, rising junior middleweight, Jarrett Hurd from the D.C., Maryland area, he remains unbeaten. He got the 6th-round stoppage over Jojo Dan. I really like Jarrett Hurd. He impresses me every time he fights. He's very crafty, very composed. He's got this really good look to him, this funky hair, kind of like Odell Beckham a little bit, you know. Yeah. He's got this really good style, good swagger. And every time he fights, he kind of puts on, you know what I mean? It kind of wants you to watch him fight again. And just there's something about him, Jay. I don't know if it's his charisma or just his fight language. What is it that makes us like him?
I think it's just his confidence in the ring, and as he fights more, he'll shore up those kind of deficiencies in his fight style. He gets hit a little bit too much for my liking, but he has good power, he has good size, and he's a likable kid. He's a handsome kid. He speaks pretty well when you talk to him, or when he's interviewed in a post-fight interviews, and he just has a lot of potential. As long as he has the right people around him and he keep that tough heart and that lion heart, he could do some really good things. And I enjoy watching him as well. I just want to know, when is it going to get to the point where it's, who's the real Swift from Philadelphia? When are we going to get to that? So, yeah, because he got it tatted on the chest big time.
Yeah, well, I like him. He was pretty active this year. Every fight that he got the opportunity to fight on TV, he really impressed. And like I said, he is pretty crafty. So the fight that opened up the Spike telecast was former world champion Javier Fortuna. He recovered from a knockdown and beat Omar Douglas by unanimous decision. Wow.
That was a pretty interesting scrap. Javier Fortuna got dropped early in the fight in the first round, but he got up and he kept fighting, and he dominated the majority of the rounds, but they were good competitive rounds. He didn't completely just come out and shut down Omar Douglas. There were some good competitive rounds, some good back and forth action, but after losing that first round, that must have been the wake-up call that he needed, and he went there and he went to work and he pulled out the unanimous decision. For him, it was a flash knockdown. I won't say there was any real clear deficiencies in his fight style, but he might want to watch that back a few times to make sure he doesn't do the same thing again. But it was a good scrap, good back and forth action, and I didn't have any problems with the decision.
After the fight, Javier Fortuna did some interviews, and I saw that he would love to rematch Jason Sosa, and that's a really good thing when people start calling you out. You know, that's good, because for those that say nobody knows Jason Sosa, he don't have no fan base, well, now you got fighters calling him out. However, I think Jason and his promotional team have much bigger things in mind and store. I don't think they're looking to backpedal there and rematch Fortuna, who they already beat this year over there in Beijing. Jay, our last fight of the weekend that we're going to talk about, and normally we would not talk about the UFC on the Morning Punch-In show, but it was a huge fight for the UFC. Conor McGregor makes UFC history as the first fighter to hold 2 world titles. After the fight, he was so funny. He got up there and he thanked nobody. He made it clear that he did not want to thank nobody. Here's another here's a fascinating stat, is that the post-fight presser that they had in New York, before the stream even came on, they had over 50,000 people tuned in to watch the post-fight presser. That's unreal. Conor McGregor, he moves the dial. I'm not even mad that we're going to talk about this today. He's a really big deal. And don't we wish more boxers had the desire for greatness like him? He moves up and down weight classes to fight the best, to be the best. You know, only if our fighters did that more, right? Jay, talk to me about the UFC fight.
The UFC fight, there were a lot of good fights on that card, but Conor McGregor, love him or hate him, the personality, you know, we know that we've seen this blueprint before where you play the villain and you become the pay-per-view king. Wake me up if you've seen this before. Conor McGregor is that dude, but what makes him even more interesting and enticing is he took that L and he came right back. During the I can't remember if it was the UFC broadcast or the Bellator broadcast, where one of the commentators said it is unheard of for an MMA fighter to have a clean, unblemished record. Unheard of, because you constantly have fighters fighting the best in their division. There's no tune-ups. There are fights that are not as competitive, but it's constantly the best fighting the best. Conor McGregor took an L, a clear L. Came back, got a win, came back, got another win. We can start arguing he is the biggest star. Well, he is. I think at this point, he's surpassing Ronda Rousey as the biggest star in MMA. And I don't see anyone coming to dethrone him anytime soon. He looked like a killer in the ring. And now, by not thanking anybody, now you get a whole nother demographic of people who tune in just to watch him lose. He's not stupid. We've seen this blueprint before, haven't we?
Yeah. We sure have. So, we just talked about some UFC on the Morning Punching Show. Woo!
I know.
What
we have
happening over here?
I know it's a slight crossover. Don't get too excited now. Don't think we're going to sit here on the Morning Punching Show and talk about brawl and sprawl and takedowns and submissions and tap out. That ain't going to happen. But I mean, when the roads intersect, we will touch on it here.
Yeah. While we're waiting for Heather Hardy to call the hotline bling, is there anybody, Jay, in the queue on the switchboard willing to play any Know It or Blow It? The questions are going to be really easy today. We'll even give you guys an extra 10 seconds. We always see that our switchboard is lit up, but nobody presses 1 to play Know It or Blow It.
And it's the same thing today. I see some 310. I see, we have somebody from the 816 who's feeling brave. Let's pick them up. 816, you're on with RB and Jae for some Know It or Blow It. Who are we speaking to and where are you calling from?
Mike from Kansas City.
What up,
What's
Mike?
Good, Mike.
What's up?
What's up? Listen, before we play some Know It or Blow It, Kovalev Ward, who you got this weekend?
Nope, I ain't telling you. You wouldn't tell me, so I ain't telling you.
I'm going to tell everyone today. That's one of the shows today. We're doing a Kovalev Ward fight preview.
I got Ward. Ward by decision.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
cool.
I won't let too much of my cat out the bag, but I'm also picking Ward by decision, and I will elaborate on that a little more later during Hot Topics when we do our fight preview. But anyway, are you ready to play Know It or Blow It?
Let's go.
All right, Jay, we're going to give him 20 seconds on the clock today.
Okay.
For daring to be great. All right, I need you to name us 3 boxing prospects. 3 boxing prospects this year. Go.
Man. You got. Man, I come up short. I ain't got nothing.
Oh. Nobody? You didn't like anybody this year? We know you watch boxing. There was no young up-and-coming guy that made you say, this kid going to play.
But I done got confused with who's prospecting now right now. Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, that should be easy, but it wasn't.
It's really not. Anyway, thank you for trying, and thank you for calling in. We're gonna put you back in the queue so you could finish listening to the show. Thanks a lot, Kansas City.
All right, right on.
All right.
Right on. RB, why don't we take a quick little commercial break, and then we'll come back and see where we are at.
Yes.
Are you looking for a website that has all the latest and upcoming boxing events, plus unique and stylish boxing shirts and hoodies for men and women? Go check out RagingBabe.com. It's your one-stop shop for the most current boxing info and fresh boxing apparel for him and her. Shop online today at RagingBabe.com. Use the promo code RB20 at checkout for 20% off your entire purchase today. That's code RB20 for 20% off your entire purchase today, only at RagingBabe.com. So join the movement and see why attitude and loyalty become passion and determination, only at RagingBabe.com. When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
All right, and we're back. So listen, if you didn't catch the opening, me and Jay will be out in Las Vegas this week, broadcasting live from Radio Row, from the MGM Grand for Kovalev Ward. We've got a lot of fun things in store. You're going to hear from us at least once or twice a day. We're going to try to get as many interviews as we can for you guys and bring you guys all the word on the curve from Las Vegas. We are also hosting the official tweet up after the Kovalev Ward fight. So if you are in Vegas, head over to T-Mobile Arena, and it will be inside of the Hyde Lounge. And stay tuned this week. We'll be putting out some more information on that. So, Jay, now that we're talking about Kovalev Ward, that is the hot topic of our show today. We want to give a fight preview. We want to give some breakdowns. We want to give our predictions and just talk about the event overall. And if we have time, we will go back to the phone lines and get some more predictions and thoughts on the fight. So, Kovalev Ward, it is fight week, 12-round fight for Kovalev's IBF, WBA, and the WBO 175-pound championship belts at the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, distributed via HBO, pay-per-view for $69.96. This, without a question, Jay, is probably going to be the fight of the year, one of the biggest fights of the decade.
This is a great matchup. And I know that fight fans have been looking forward to this matchup, whether you love Kovalev or hate Ward or vice versa. It's a great matchup. It's between two stellar athletes, and really the odds makers are pretty evenly split. When we look at the two competitors, Andre Ward, let's start with Andre Ward. Let's start with what Andre Ward does well. Andre Ward is accurate. His speed, he definitely will win the speed challenge between the two of them. His footwork is great, and he works really, really terrific when he's fighting at close range. When you look at what Sergey Kovalev has in the positive category, undeniably his power is his biggest asset and attribute. His size and his strength. The man is like a bull in the ring. Not an unsophisticated bull, but a bull nonetheless. So the matchup there, speed versus power, this is a true speed versus power matchup. On the other side of the fence, we look at what is kind of questionable about them. Andre Ward's chin. I'm not saying that he's chinny, but has anybody ever really connected with him to even wobble him like that? Kovalev could put him out if he lands flush on the chin, because we've seen Kovalev just completely demolish pretty much anybody in his path. And stamina. Sometimes, like in the fight with Edwin Rodriguez, and even the fight with the one in Oakland with the no-name fighter. Please forgive me, listeners. Stamina could be a little questionable. Is it ring rust? Is it stamina? I don't know. But you're going to be moving around the ring with a big, solid Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev is good at throwing punches and bunches, but not a lot of punch variety. So it's a very, very compelling matchup, RB.
So what's your final pick, or do you not have one yet?
My final pick, I'll do a pick. Right now, I'm going to lead Ward by split decision. And why I'm leaning that way is, although Ward fights in close range, I don't see Ward staying in the pocket with him the entire time. He moves well, he can create angles, and he's going to give Sergey Kovalev a look that he's never had before. When we compare their two resumes and look at their competition and the types of fighters they face, they've put people in front of Kovalev that he is expected to mow down. Whereas Andre Ward has fought a lot of different types of opposition. So in terms of ring generalship and just the level of competition, no matter what the weight, I'm going to give the advantage to Ward, but by split decision, because it will be a competitive fight.
All right. Well, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Kovalev is a knockout artist. So that does make this fight compelling, because we know that Andre Ward is so tactical, right? And he is the true essence of a fighter. He is very strategic. He's precise. He's got great technique. His skills are mean and rugged. You know, you might call him boring, but he's got mean skills. You know, he's got slick footwork. He applies pressure and motion. He does a lot of really good things offensively and defensively. He works behind his jab. He knows how to slip shots. He just knows how to box off of angles and neutralize his opponent. So he may have a lack of power, but then again, he knows how to neutralize people. You know, he was able to defeat the guys like Mike Kessler and Alan Green and Saka Bika and Arthur Abraham, Carl Froch. I mean, those are powerful guys.
Right.
So, again, he's able to neutralize them and use his ring IQ and his savviness. And I just think he has so many more tools in his toolbox. You know, he has so much ammunition where I think he could do so many things good. Where we know that Kovalev, we've seen has been able to box, you know, but we also know that he's this big knockout artist, and that's really what he's known for. So I am also going with Andre Ward by decision. I think it'll be a majority decision, and I think it will set up for some type of rematch.
I'm here for it. You know, like we said on Twitter this past week, both of us, this is a great fight, and this is a fight that actually has me excited to cover boxing this week. And I say that with the utmost respect. I'm not saying any fighters their fights are, well, maybe I might say a couple of them are trash, but this fight is exciting. After a very dismal springish, or a lot of fights in 2016 just really kind of soured me on the sport this year. I still love it, but like any relationship, it has its ups and downs. But this fight right here, I'm ready. I'm going to start packing today.
Yeah, I am really excited. There's a bunch of other fights on this card, too. So let's see. On the free telecast, Clarissa Shields makes her pro debut. And Darmani Rock from Philly, he's also on that undercard during the free telecast. On the HBO pay-per-view, we've got Isaac Chalemba versus up-and-comer Alexander Barowski, or I don't know.
I like how you said that. That sounded good, RB. Russian RB.
Right. I'm trying. And we also have Curtis Stevens versus James LaRosa, who got bumped up for the televised pay-per-view portion. And junior welterweight prospect Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker takes on Darlise Perez. So not too much to get excited about on the undercard, although the Chalemba fight's probably going to be really good. I don't see James LaRosa being a big problem for Curtis Stevens. But, again, the main event is everything. It is the appetizer. It is the main course. It is dessert. It is everything.
That's it. I'm hyped. I'm packing today. I am. Usually I wait till the last minute. I'm going to pack today. I'm going to pack some stuff today.
Listen, if you see me and Jay in Vegas, we have wristbands to give away. We're bringing T-shirts. We're going to have candy at our radio booth. So if you make it into the media center, if you've got a credential, you'll come in and you'll be able to fill up some brown paper bags with some good food and candy. So we are ready out there. We're ready. Man, this fight's going to be good. Kovalev Ward.
You know what else is going to be good? Us on this radio row again. If you didn't catch our coverage, the last time RB and I were on the radio row in Vegas for Bradley Pacquiao, it's pretty lit when we get in there. Blame it on the sugar and the candy. Blame it on both of us wearing hoop earrings. Blame it on the fact that we both have a lot of hair. but it gets pretty lit when we hit Vegas together. We had some of the best interviews, the fun interviews. Not only that, we broke stories while we were there. We got Roy Jones Jr. spitting hot 16. We got people advising RB on what type of vitamins she should take. I mean, we had Terrence Crawford playing dominoes and having fun for the people who say he never talks, he never does any personality. We just bring the people, and we're going to do it again this week in Vegas during Kovalev weekend.
I know that's right. Last week, the referee was assigned for Kovalev Ward, and it will be Robert Bird. I'm happy about that. I like Robert Bird. Kovalev Ward pay-per-view numbers. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, how do we feel the event overall is going to do? I expect modest pay-per-view numbers. And let me tell you another thing. Andre Ward is getting like a $5 million guarantee. I don't even know if Kovalev is getting half of that. But will the pay-per-view numbers justify Andre Ward's $5 million guarantee? What do you think, Jay?
Nah, hell no. I mean, we know it's a good fight, and boxing fans who are tuned into the fight know it's a good fight. We know Oakland is going to tune into the fight. But outside of that, who's really buying this fight? And I say that respectfully to both promotions. You know undeniably that we love this fight. But we're fight fanatics, so of course we know this fight because we follow the sport. I'm hoping something happens that creates this big fire buzz this week to sell this fight. It's a great fight. It's worth buying it just for the main event. But Curtis Stevens, that's a good fight too. So I don't know. I don't know where to kind of speculate on these pay-per-view numbers. I'm going to go low and say 150 to 200. I'm going to go. I can't even lie. And I feel like I'm being generous.
Yeah, I'm going to say between 2 and 250. I wish that Rock Nation would have done so much more behind the promotion. I think Main Event has done a lot. But, you know, Jay-Z, send out a tweet. Beyonce, you know, put something on Instagram. Like, they have millions and millions of followers. It's like, yo, can they just get involved a little bit? And I know Jay-Z from the beginning, you know, kind of said that this is just another division of his company, and he wants that division to run that division. It's not about him, you know, doing everything. But still, it's like, man, Jigga.
Right. Do you still want to make money? RB, you have many facets to the business that you run. Obviously, some things get more attention than others, but you're vested in all of them being successful. And I feel like the disconnect between Jay-Z and Rock Nation is so great. And I still can't wrap my mind around why somebody can't program his social media. Hey, it's The Rock. You know, we got to fight this weekend.
I'll do it for like 200 a week.
We can't get none of those from Jay-Z on a drop. Andre Ward. We can't get none of that.
Man, let me tell you, if we're in the media room and Jay-Z is in there, it's a wrap. If he gets over to our booth, it's a wrap, man.
I'm getting signed. I'm gonna spit a hot 16 on the spot. I'm getting signed.
We're gonna have Hard Knock Life playing at our booth.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Yeah,
it's on.
Man.
We're gonna do the Jay-Z B mix up. It's gonna be on and popping in there. So if you stop by, you're gonna hear like it's a Hard Knock Life. It's gonna be lit.
Listen, I just heard from Heather Hardy. She just got off the floor from sparring. Why don't we take a quick commercial? We're going to come back with Heather Hardy.
Let's do it.
All right.
When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you. If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
All right. We are on the Hotline Bling. Heather Hardy, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm so sorry I'm late. I just got off the floor at the gym.
It is okay. We know you're out there training and grinding. We really wanted to get you on our show this morning. We were reading a lot of articles this past weekend about the possibility of you maybe signing to fight an MMA fight. Is there any truth to that?
There sure is. I mean, I'm in contracts now, so I can't say much, but pretty exciting stuff coming up. And make no mistake about it, I'm not leaving boxing. This is an addition. It's not a subtraction.
Oh, okay. And I was going to ask you that. Are you permanently moving there? And can you tell us what led to this decision? I mean, it seems kind of dangerous, at your age where you've been boxing your whole life and now you're going to transition into a different whole style of fighting.
Well, I wouldn't so much as say dangerous as much as it's risky. It's true. I mean, I am in my 30s. I'm a mom. I mean, I'm not 18 making this decision, but it's something I'm really excited about. And I am a professional athlete. I'm totally ready. I had thought about this months and months and months ago and started wrestling a little bit over the summer because I always kickboxed. I kickboxed before I was boxing, and I kickboxed this whole time I was boxing to cross-train. So it just seemed like before I fought Shelly, we weren't sure what was going to happen. So I started some talks with MMA, and now that these insurance laws are stopping boxing, I can't think of a more perfect time to make the transition.
Yeah, talking about the insurance laws, so there's these insane insurance requirements now. And so what has Lou DiBella said to you? Like, what advice has he given you? Is he behind this whole transition? Because I think the new insurance requirements is almost making it impossible for him and other local promoters in New York to even stage shows. I think he canceled, 2 shows, which canceled out checks for you.
Yeah, I mean, I usually get a paycheck in the fourth quarter right before Christmas, and I'm not getting that this year. And Lou is a fair guy. When I came to him about the MMA initially, he wasn't crazy about it because he's got big plans for me in boxing. But, I kind of had to say, I love you, Lou. I'm not going anywhere, but please, I need to get paid. I can't not get paid. I can't not work. And with these insurance laws the governor kind of tabling the issue and not even – making an effort to resolve it. I don't know when I'll fight again. We're saying March, but what happens if the insurance isn't resolved? There's not even a policy out there that can cover us, even if we did fight, Even if Lou says, I'll pay the insurance. There isn't an insurance policy that's going to recover the requirements they're asking for. So it's impossible for there to be boxing right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, it's kind of frustrating because in August you fought Shelly Vincent, you got the majority decision. It was such a good fight, and we're like, man, she put on. Finally, women's boxing. I mean, your fight was better than the Spence Fondue fight, which was the main event. I mean, clearly, seriously, and I'm not just saying that. I put it all over Twitter that night that you guys definitely had the best fight. So you had all this momentum going. You're this huge ticket seller in New York. You sell more tickets than most male fighters from New York. I don't know if people realize that.
Yeah, and then the truth is, whereas it's kind of easy for the guys to pick up and go fight on someone else's show, it's not that easy for a woman. I sell a lot of tickets here in New York, and that's incentive to put me on these big shows. But, you have women fighting all over the country that are lucky if they fight once a year because most promoters won't even give them a shot. So with Lou DiBella not putting on shows, I'm out of work.
When I spoke to you before the Shelly Vincent fight, Heather, you were really excited about women's boxing finally making it to network TV. It had a huge audience to see you do your work. Now, as you move into a new sport, essentially, does the challenge of mastering a new sport or the possibility of finally being able to reach a level of prominence you've worked so hard to attain in your career, is that enticing to you as you make this transition over into MMA?
Well, the way I thought of it is that I established myself as a fighter, as an athlete, as a boxer, as an advocate for women's rights. And when I look at this transition into MMA, it's just me doing something new. So, we're going to check it out. It's a new challenge for me. To understand, I didn't put a pair of boxing gloves on my hands until I was almost 29 years old. So at 34, to say I am where I am, I started real late in boxing too. You know,
Right.
I think Muhammad Ali said impossible is nothing. When you put your mind to it, anything can be done. So a lot of these people, even Lou himself, was really skeptical about me going into MMA and having these thoughts as, oh, you think you're going to be the next big MMA star. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I did in boxing when everyone told me not to even bother, that it wasn't worth it, that you're old, that you haven't been around that long. And I said, okay, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of things in this world that I'm okay at, but there's one thing I'm great at, and that's fighting. So if I need a side job because my main job, which is boxing, is on hold right now, fighting in something else is really my best bet.
Instead of asking you about what challenges you face because a future adversary might be listening to this show, what has been the easiest for you to adapt to as you begin training in MMA?
Well, I think it's easier for me, and it's certainly not easy. I mean, there are many nights where it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've done a triple, and I'm just sobbing, sitting on the train sobbing because I'm exhausted. But the easiest is so far is I think once you have fighting sense, once you know what it means to stand in front of someone and tell yourself, I'm not going to let you beat me, that's what's been easiest for me. So whereas the jiu-jitsu has been complicated and getting used to using your legs again and fighting has been complicated, fighting is not hard for me. So I have that upper hand over most girls who jump in, you know?
And then we look at the opportunities that you have now that you're making this transition. We know there's Invicta, there's Bellator, and, of course, there's the biggie UFC. You mentioned that you've been discussing this. Can you give us any kind of hint of which you don't have to tell, just which of the three promotional outfits has been most intriguing to you as you look at them all?
Well, I can say good things about almost all of them simply because they respect females as males. Males and females are offered the very same kind of contracts. There isn't a big change in the pay gap. It's one of the few sports where a bantamweight champion is a bantamweight champion.
Right.
So I can honestly say that because I'm in talks with one company and I'm really, really excited about them and what they're offering me in the future, unfortunately it's too early for me to mention anything. But I promise, you guys will be the first or second or third to know.
All right.
All right. Celebrate. Well, okay, we'll let you tell your family first. I guess that's okay.
All right. So second, third, maybe fourth.
All right. Cool. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. You are a phenomenal athlete. It is an honor to speak with you and watch what you are doing for not only just for women in sports, but all of the things that you do outside the ring, the role model that you are for encouraging young women and giving them someone positive to look up to. And we wish you nothing but the best. And your next move may be the best move. Thanks for bearing with me.
Thanks for, I was late, so I'm sorry, but thank you.
It is our honor. It's no problem at all. You were working.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, take care, and we will speak to you again when you break the news on here who you're going to sign with after you tell the three other people.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, take
care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, hey, you never know. There's a lot of opportunity out there for her, and it's going to be exciting to see what she can do. You know, we've seen Anna Hulatin go over to MMA. Of course, Holly Holm. Why doesn't she have the same opportunity they did? And you never know. She might go further than they did.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like a little sad for her right now, listening to how she said, there's been nights where she's been sobbing in the gym now because she's having to take a risk to go to the MMA world now, when really that's not what she wants to do. Can you imagine having to learn, a new sport, a new fight game, and what a risk that is, and crying every night because it's really not what you want to do, and it's really hard, and her career is on the line, and she's had so much great momentum in New York. Like I said, she's a huge ticket seller. She looks good. She's Irish. She's a through and through, Brooklyn, New Yorker, and it sucks. I had read that the UFC fight on Saturday with those insurance requirements, they had to pay almost $50,000 just for the insurance on that show. So here's the thing, though. It might not sound like a lot of money, but when you're Lou DiBella, Star Boxing, and those smaller guys in New York,
right,
when they're still doing and investing in the smaller shows like Broadway boxing, well, $50,000, that's like your whole budget. So to spend $50,000-$60,000 just on insurance for one show, it's not feasible. It's just,
right.
You cannot justify that. So, oh man, I just really feel for her, and we're pulling for her. She had that great fight with Shelly Vincent, and I really thought she was going to be the one to put women's boxing on the map. Yes, we have Clarissa Shields fighting on the Kovalev word card, but man, she's going to have an uphill battle.
Absolutely.
It's going to be hard for Clarissa too.
It's hard out here for women, but we making it.
We gonna make it. Jay, give us this weekend's fight schedule.
Yes.
If you could, please, ma'am.
I sure would. You know, in honor of you saying we gonna make it, I'm gonna put that as the background music for the popular fight schedule this weekend. Let's talk about it. On Friday on Estrella TV, we have Mauricio Herrera versus Pablo Cesar Cano. Interesting fight. Crossroads fight. A drinking fight. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a great fight. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to tune in to Estrella. I like Mauricio Herrera and Pablo Cesar Cano. I don't know. One of them is going to be voted off the island if they lose this weekend. I don't know. We'll see how this fight goes this weekend. Also on Friday on CBS Sportsnet, Damon Brock versus Reynaldo Blanco. Also on Friday on Unimas, Fernando Vargas versus Christopher Diaz. And, of course, on Saturday, the big HBO pay-per-view, Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. Wow. A lot of fights this weekend, and I'm here for all of it. Yay for the end of the year.
Yay. All right. Before we wrap up, I'm going to give you a little bit of word on the curb.
Ooh.
All right. Word on the curb is, yes, Top Rank has been talking to Rock Nation about making Bradley Cotto, but now there is somebody else that they're talking to in the running to set up with Tim Bradley, and this guy is, word on the curb, Tim Bradley versus Andre Berto.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Andre Berto versus Tim Bradley. Yeah, I don't hate it, right?
I don't hate that fight at all. Like, I really don't. That's a cool little scrap. I hope it lands in L.A. I mean, it should. They're both in California. I like it. I'm not going to shit on that fight. I definitely will watch it. And you can make a great undercard on that fight, too.
Yeah, so what does this mean? So Terrence Crawford versus John Molina, Heyman Fighter, Top Rank. Now the word on the curb is Tim Bradley versus Andre Berto, Top Rank, Al Heyman Fighter. Are we going to actually see them start working together more? Now, when they announced Crawford Molina, I said, hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. You got to do what you got to do. But now it seems like they really are trying to maybe do some work together.
Kumbaya,
that's a good thing.
my Lord, kumbaya. Hey, or maybe it was part of the deal of the lawsuit that they have to do a few fights together. Whatever it is, hell, make fights. I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we'll see. As I hear more about that, we will bring you the news here during Word on the Curb segment. Tim Bradley, he does need a fight, though. I mean, he only fought Pacquiao this year in April and hasn't fought since then.
That's right.
Andre Berto needs a fight, too. He was supposed to fight Danny Garcia. He didn't like the coins that they were offering him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that fight didn't come to fruition. So let's see. Tim Bradley Berto. I think that's it, Jay. We are about 10 minutes under the hour, but I think we got everybody caught up to speed. Big fight weekend. I'm going to remind you guys one last time, the after party. We are hosting the Tweet Up at Hyde Lounge inside of the T-Mobile Arena. It is free to get in there. After the fights, please come by, chop it up with us, have some drinks with us, listen to some good music. We're going to be talking about all the aftermath of the fight.
Yes. Hug us, but don't touch my hair. I hate when people do that. Please don't touch my hair. I hate that.
And stay tuned to us all week on Twitter. We will be letting you know when we will be broadcasting live, which days, what time. So make sure that you tune in and listen to us all week. So that is it. Make sure you visit badculture.net, rageandbabe.com. We appreciate you for listening today. Jay, thank you for always being amazing. Catch us
My
every
pleasure.
Monday morning from 8 to 9 and all week in Vegas starting Wednesday. This is the Morning Punch-In Show. Thank you, guys. It's a wrap.